Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be sort of a health update. I haven't done really like a sit down actual talk to you health update since April, and some stuff's been going on the last week, almost two. Well, yeah, I guess the last 2 weeks at this point. So I think what I'm going to do is I've got my notes so I don't forget anything, but I'm going to start walking through April, and then I'm going to walk through lately, and then we'll have a conclusion of this video probably later next month after I go see my cardiologist, because there's some stuff going on that's going to have to get worked out, and we'll see how that works. So first things first, if you've not done so already, hit the red subscribe button down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you like chronic illness videos, and let's jump right in. Okay, so if you are new here, I am Jamie. I live with POTS, or postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, cyclic vomiting syndrome, which is my newest diagnosis as of April this year, chronic gastritis, anemia, and chronic fatigue syndrome. So yeah, I'm not shy when it comes to illnesses or dealing with stuff or taking meds, but yeah. So basically this health update starts in, I had a few weird weeks in March of this year, and I'm thinking, okay, this is just how this happens. And I had a doctor's appointment scheduled for my yearly physical on April 1st. And I thought, okay, this continues, I'll mention it to the doctor. 2 days before my appointment, my body decides, no, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. So I ended up going to the doctor feeling the best that I had in literally years. So I thought, this is a fluke and my body's making fun of it, and it's my body's playing a joke. I figured I'd go to the doctor, do the blood work, and something would be wrong. Or I would go to the doctor and within a few days I'd be feeling like crap again. But that's not what happened. Other than a random cyclic vomiting flare in the end of April and the beginning of May, which could have been caused by stress, because if you're not new here and you watch my other videos, you know that we've been through some shit this year. So yeah. But it randomly started, it randomly went away, I just didn't think of it. And when a bigger flare didn't come on after it, I was just like, okay, there we go. And then in May, like middle to late May, I started having muscle and joint pain. I always have muscle and joint pain to some extent, but middle to late May it started, and it just wasn't getting any better, and it wasn't easing up, and it's like, okay, so I changed some stuff up, changed up my yoga routine a little bit, my workout routine a little bit, thought we'll just fix it, this is what we'll do. And we were just so busy, and we have been, that I never thought about mentioning it to the doctor through a message or a call or anything, and he does check in with me every now and then to see how I'm feeling, and I just never thought about it. And it never really got any worse than what it was, and it was manageable. So I just dealt with it. So I've been dealing with that for a while. But I managed to feel good enough through April, May, all the way to the end of July and part of August that we managed to go on a 12-day vacation. If you watch my vlogs, you've seen that. If not, I'll put it in the cards. I think it's this corner. I'm not sure. And I did really good. But I was also really trying to stay on top of my health. I made sure I had my medication. I made sure I was taking it on time or around the right time. The only thing that really changed was what we were eating and drinking, because we ate out 3 times our entire vacation. I do not eat out that much in a month, let alone like a 2-week span. We had more fried foods because, yeah, it's just what happens. You change your diet, and my caffeine went way up. I have maybe 1 Coke, like a 12-ounce can of Coke, maybe once a month. And while we were on vacation, I was having one almost every day. I may not have been having one almost every day, but I was having one almost every day. And towards the end, I was. And on our travel day back, my water was just not. I had a water in the morning with my normal light, and I ordered a water at McDonald's, but they had frozen Coke, and I'm just one of those people. If there's a chance to get a frozen Coke, I'm going to get one. So, yeah. So I shouldn't have, but that was all, I think that was all the water I had that day. Except for I grabbed another bottle out of the cooler and I had that. So yeah, I had hardly any water the day we came back. And we got back late, August 5th. It was like 9:30 by the time we got back. So I crashed. I did what I had to and I went to sleep. And I slept until 10 o'clock the next day. That's how tired I was. Because I don't do that. And I woke up the next day, and typically the day after vacation, getting back is like rough. Anyway, no matter who you are. But I had severe fatigue. I was having heart palpitations. My blood pressure was everywhere. I woke up and it was normal for me, which is low for other people. By the middle of the afternoon, I was feeling it, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? So I went and took it, and it was high. It was like 140s, and it never gets that high. So it's like, okay. I was figuring, yeah, okay, my body's letting me have it. I'll sleep tonight. I'll rest a little bit more and I'll get better. Well, nothing was improving. Nothing got better at all. If anything, everything just kept getting worse. So I scheduled a doctor's appointment because I have to do this every now and then just to go in and have like maintenance. That's really what it is, and that's what it feels like. I have to go into the doctor and I have to have him do an exam and him go, okay, so you know this is what it is and this is what you do. But for some reason, when I do that, my body goes, okay, we're good now, you saw the doctor, even though he said the same thing he always does, but we're good. And I do that for a few days and my body's back to normal. So I scheduled an appointment, but it wasn't until August 20th. And I'm thinking, okay, if I have to deal with it this long, I will. And I put in if I could get an early, like there's a thing on our My Chart where you hit it, and if there's an earlier appointment pop up, it'll give it to you, or you can accept that appointment or whatever. So I did that, and I wasn't getting anything. And usually you start getting on the second you hit that button. And Friday, August 9th, I started having shortness of breath and severe difficulty breathing. It didn't matter what I was doing. I could be sitting still like I am now, and I would just not be able to breathe. And most people, when they can't breathe, they go to the hospital. I am not one of those people. I am trained as an EMT. I know the people at the hospital. I know the people at the fire department. Friday night, after the shortness of breath had been bothering me enough where I was thinking, okay, maybe I should go to the hospital, it sort of let up. It was still there, but it wasn't as bad. If I was in a certain position, it would go away. So that's what I did. I just left it out. And then I got a memo on my phone saying, we have an appointment open for 9:15 on Monday, the 12th. So I took it. I think that's the fastest I have ever accepted a waitlist appointment. But I went in on Monday, and he said, you know that most likely this is just your POTS, and you know what to do, and there's nothing else we can do. And I said, yeah. But he still, that's the thing. He will tell me that, but he still takes me seriously, and he still actually treats me like a patient and does the exam and goes over everything, and we try and figure stuff out. He said most likely, because we had just gotten back from traveling, that it was the stress on my body that was just getting to it. And when we got home and I was actually able to relax a little bit, my body freaked out. But I was telling him, because it sort of started happening while we were down there. April 1st was the first day that I really noticed it. Like, it wasn't what it was, it's not what it was up here, and it was completely different down there. It was just more like a stress reaction down there. Like, I was on edge more. Like, it was almost like, if you're a girl and you have PMS, or you ever have, you're gonna understand this, because that's what it felt like. It felt like PMS times 10. I wasn't cramping, I wasn't having all that, but the emotional side of the PMS was there, and it was horrible. I was on edge, I was pissed off. It didn't matter who you were or what you said. If you said it wrong, I was gonna freak. So, yeah. And I was still kind of like that over the weekend as well. But I mentioned that to the doctor and explained it that way, and he went, okay. He's not a gynecologist. He's not going to go into that and deal with that. He's just like, okay, it's a stress reaction. Like he said that was just your body warning you that it was coming. But he said, okay, either way, we'll do blood work, we'll check electrolytes, iron, kidneys, liver, and just see what's going on to see if anything's changed. And he doesn't usually do blood work for these appointments. I just randomly go in for. This was the first one he's ever done blood work for. So I think it may have been because he had a student with him, but I'm not exactly sure. But then he asked me at the end of the appointment if there was anything else that was bothering me. And I told him about the muscle and joint pain. I finally got the chance to do that and actually remembered to do it. And he said, okay, so we'll check bones and muscles and sedimentation rates and just see what's going on. Because my POTS medication can affect my kidneys, and my omeprazole can affect my bones and my muscles. And then with all my other illnesses, I already have enough problems that can impact everything anyway. And we know that of all the illnesses I have, my POTS is my worst. It's the one that, even when it's controlled, it's not. So, yeah. I've been seeing that it's bothering me. Sorry. So he told me, because it was so early in the morning, he said, okay, we should have blood results by the afternoon, so I'll look for them this afternoon before I get off, and I will call you or message you with the results. I got a message the next day at like 7 in the morning with the results. Everything came back normal, except for my white blood cells were elevated, my neutrophils were elevated, and my platelets were elevated. All of which are basically non-specific. It doesn't tell you anything. Without other things being elevated or being low, those three numbers don't tell you anything. And my platelets are always high, and the doctor's like, at your age, if they're not above 1,000, I'm not worried, and if they're not below 200, then I'm not worried. So they weren't high enough to worry about. So the doctor's like, okay, and he told me at the appointment, depending on what comes back in the blood work, I'm going to put you on steroid, and that's what's going to happen. So he sent me in a steroid Tuesday, and I messaged him and said, my white cells are already high, and you're putting me on a steroid, and steroids up your white count. And he said, yes, temporarily, that's what's going to happen, but he's like, just take it anyway, because there's nothing else that it could be, and without any other symptoms, I can't say you have this illness or that illness. Because at first he was thinking it was a virus. And then without my nausea and my vomiting, it's not a virus. Then, Tuesday afternoon, like right before I go to leave to pick up my meds, I end up coughing. I have a really bad cough, and I'm congested. And the weather here has been all wacky, so with the congestion around here, if you go outside for too long and then go back in, it's like you're going to end up congested for a little bit. But it wasn't like that. And my cough was horrible. Like, it sounded like I had pneumonia. And that lasted until yesterday. And today I wake up and it's not there. So when I started with the cough and the congestion, I messaged the doctor and said, okay, this is what's going on. Should I still start steroid? And he said, yes. Because if it does turn out there's something wrong and it's your lungs, there is a chance that the steroid will help it. And from what I can tell, if there was anything wrong with my lungs as of now, the steroid has either helped it in the day that I've been on it, or it was just a fluke thing. But I started the steroid yesterday. So 8/14. I am going to try and give dates in this video because I am going to try and do an update later next month or maybe in October, depending on how my appointment goes and what happens with my cardiologist next month. So yeah. And so far the only thing I've noticed is increased appetite and increased thirst. Like I can have a half of this on a typical day and be full and not want to eat till 2 o'clock. Yesterday I had halfie at about, and by 11 o'clock I was starving again, and I had 100 ounces of water, and yesterday is the first time I've had 100 ounces of water and I do not know how many months, because I got to where I couldn't drink 100 ounces. 76 was maxing me out and it was making me sick, and yesterday I drank 100 ounces. So yeah, that, and when I took my bedtime dose last night, which was 2 pills, even with the fatigue and me feeling exhausted, I could not sleep. I didn't go to sleep until 1 o'clock this morning because it amped me up so much. So I'm going to try and shift my steroid a little bit today and see how I do with shifting it. That way my bedtime dose isn't at like 10 o'clock when I actually go to bed. It's like at maybe 8, 9 o'clock. Because if it's going to amp me up, at least give me an hour where I could actually get something done. So yeah. So that's what is going on. And as of for like the plan for right now, because I like to see out into the future and have my plans when it comes to my medical stuff, even though sometimes you just can't. If you live with a chronic illness, you know that. But the plan for right now is to see if the steroid helps. Like I said, I'm on day 2 when I'm filming this video, and the day this video goes up, I'm on day 3. So yeah. But we're going to see if steroid helps and fixes the problem. Like basically, the steroid is a way to trick my body into thinking everything is okay. And that's what the goal is. And if that's what happens, then I'm good to go. If that's not what happens and the steroid don't help, from what I'm understanding, I go back to my doctor and we go from there. And then there's always the fact that there's always the thing, I see the cardiologist 24th of September. So when I go in there and see him, I'm going to talk to him about this and what's been going on and see what he thinks. But I'm guessing if steroid helps, it's just going to be like, okay, well, it helps, so just don't worry about it. But my thing is, I've been on a this is the second time I've been on steroid since starting the POTS medication that I'm on in 1.5 years. And before that, I had never been on a steroid and I never needed to be, so why do I have to be on them now, every now and then, to fix myself? Or to like freak my body out into, okay, you're okay. So yeah, why? That's the plan. Either way, I either go back to the doctor who prescribed me the steroid and we go from there and see what happens, or it fixes everything and I go to the cardiologist next month. Either way, and we figure out what the cardiologist thinks. Okay, so that's my little health update for right now. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not done so already, hit the red subscribe button down below. Other than that, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.